My name is Diginibus, and welcome back to a very sleepy Henry. In this episode, we're going to just start off by sleeping after having escaped Skeleton after quite a harsh battle. And we are now in the town called Talmberg, in one of their castle chambers. So we'll just sleep here, hopefully until morning, from 7 o'clock in the evening. Alright, we made it to 9, having only slept 2 hours. Let's see what is going to happen to our character after this loading screen.
Today the patrols will be doubled. Keep your eyes peeled. If you see anything out of the ordinary, report it immediately. Understood? Yes, sir.
Yes?
It is I, Henry. Forgive the intrusion. I didn't wake you, boy, did I?
My lady, no, not at all. But what brings you here at this hour?
I thought you could do with a little wine. It's just what you need to help you sleep.
My lady, thank you. You really shouldn't. You could have sent a servant.
I was going to, but to tell you the truth, I couldn't sleep either. I thought of you while saying my prayers. How awful it must have been for you. I came to offer you solace, to let you know you're not alone.
Thank you. Thank you kindly.
You're welcome. Now, Henry, I know this is all very new and strange for you. But I want you to feel at home here. You're not to worry about anything except getting better. God knows you've been through a terrible ordeal. I know what it is to be left alone in the world, although your loss is much greater. But with God's help, the pain will ease in time. And it can help to talk about it, if you feel like it.
Okay, that was quite the cutscene, and the last lady gave us some wine to try and sleep, although we were sleeping for about 2 hours prior. But regardless, well, let's tell her about the story of the raid.
Lady. I'll tell you what happened. It was terrible and unexpected. The day started just like any other. Father sent me into town on some errands.
Okay, we'll try the
I
speech
went
option.
to the tavern to buy ale for Father. I know it's a job for a groom, but I didn't mind, because my girl Bianca worked there. I courted her a while and we agreed to meet in the evening, but our meeting was never to happen.
Oh, dear boy.
When I'd done all the errands, I headed back home. I promised Father I'd help him with his work, and I was looking forward to it. He was forging a sword for Sir Radzig.
Let's see what else we can improve here.
I'd been secretly learning sword fighting and hiding it from my parents. So when we assembled the sword, I tried a few moves with it. There's a big difference between a wooden sword and a real one. Maybe if I hadn't taken that sword in my hand, I wouldn't be here today.
You're full of surprises.
But Sigismund's horde was already on the horizon, ready to attack the town.
Did get a reputation upgrade there and speech. Let's try
I
another
saw
speech
smoke
option.
on the horizon from a village Sigismund pillaged on the way to our town, which was soon to meet the same fate.
God have mercy.
And then death descended on Skalitz.
Let's take a look here. Okay, the attack was pretty terrible.
I've never seen a raid before, and it was terrifying. The moaning of the wounded, death rattles,
The terrible screams as swords passed through flesh. There was nothing but confusion, blood, and death.
It's very sad.
I ran to the
Seems like
castle
we
like
failed
our
that
neighbours
option.
to take cover, but I didn't make it. I had to find another way to save myself. The men on the battlements called down to me to flee to Talmberg and warn you. I was lucky I knew a concealed path around the castle.
Okay, let's check here. Siege of Skeletons have begun.
I no
Let's try that
longer
option.
heard any sounds of battle coming from the castle, so Sigismund's army must have regrouped and started preparing for siege.
No doubt you're right.
Then I heard a scream. It was Teresa, the mill wench. She'd been caught by a gang of Cuman savages who planned to violate her. I had Sir Radzig's sword, and even though there were several of them and they were better armed, I had to try and save her. I wanted there to be at least one person I'd helped. And I succeeded, even though it almost cost me my life. After that, I stole a horse from them and rode off.
Like a valiant knight.
I'll never forget the horror. It will haunt me for the rest of my life.
That's terrible. How could something like that happen?
God alone knows why he lets such things happen.
You poor boy. I understand your grief, but God is not to blame for the ills of this world. That is the work of Satan and those who do his bidding. Those who are corrupted by greed, envy, and pride. You must not lose faith, whatever life brings. Fate has not been merciful to me, and my husband either. Although in comparison to the horrors you went through. I was young when I married my husband. It was my father's wish. Divish was a lot older than I, but a woman must bear her lot. Shortly after our marriage, before I even got a look at Talmberg, the castle was stormed and my husband was imprisoned.
Really?
My husband had some quarrel with Sir Havel Medek of Valdek, who decided to resolve it by force. He stormed the castle, burned down the village of Pribyslavitz, and killed many of our men, even the old chamberlain. He imprisoned my husband in the castle and put his own garrison there.
That's awful.
I was barely 18 years old, and all of a sudden, I was left alone with Sir Robert. We didn't know what to do. We went to Prague to appeal to the king and sought help from Divish's friends, but all to no avail. We tried for years, but it seemed I was destined to be left alone and my husband to rot in jail in his own castle.
Years, you say?
7 years. That's how long it took before Havel was condemned as an enemy of the crown. And even then, he refused to surrender the castle and release my husband. In the end, I raised the money to pay a ransom, and only then, by the grace of Lord Jesus, did I finally lay eyes on my husband once more.
7 years. And was Havel punished for it?
Never. And after 7 years, my husband returned to me an infirm old man.
Sir Divish seems like a good, strong man.
Certainly, only he has many concerns. He had to rebuild Talmberg. After he was released, the king appointed him Burgrave of Prague Castle, and he was very busy. He had no time for me at all. But at least we were in the city, and there was something going on. And now, we're here.
My lady, you're still young and beautiful. Your best years are still ahead of you.
Would that that were true, lad. Would it were true. But what am I doing bothering you with this? You have troubles enough of your own. I'll go and let you sleep. I enjoyed our little talk, Henry. Good night, and God bless.
Good night, my lady.
Feels more like an episode from a series rather than a gaming episode once again, as we have gone about 10 minutes into the episode, and it's mainly cutscenes still. But regardless, still very well done. It seems like he's having a little bit of a nightmare here as well, of the raid of skeleton.
Come on, we're running out of time! Quickly! We have to close the gates! You can't go back!
Henry, help us!
Help us, son.
Once again, he seems to be reliving the death of his parents. The poor man.
Henry, wake up. You don't want to miss this.
What is it? What's happening?
Come to the battlements. One of our patrols reported a company heading here from Skalitz.
Yeah, so there seems to be a patrol of some sorts heading from Skalitz past or through Talmberg. We still have no shoes on, so let's quickly put them back on. And let's head up to the battlements. Here's a torch. I don't know if we should actually pick it up at all or not. And we can light it up while holding one, apparently. That's nice. Let's open this door here and move on. Rain seems to have gotten quite bad during the night. If I remember correctly, the battlements are over this way. And let's just find where we are supposed to go.
True enough.
Alright, we need to find Sir Robert. Still the security guards. On this time, just guards.
Prepare for the worst.
As a robot?
Don't be daunted by their numbers.
No,
Heed
sorry,
my
Sir
commands,
Divish.
and all will end well.
Hey,
Okay.
you men down there. Tell the people outside the walls to prepare for attack. Quickly, do you understand?
I can barely even see over these walls, actually. But am I in the right spot? Oh, okay. We need to speak to Sir Robot. Anyway.
What's going on?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Why would Sigismund advance on Talmberg in the night? Especially since he's lost the element of surprise after the raid on Skalitz.
Maybe it's not him.
Then who is it? The scouts Jivish sent to Skalitz to spy on Sigismund said he'd set up camp and was getting ready to storm the castle. And Sir Radzig is an experienced soldier. He'd surely hold the castle for quite some time. It doesn't make sense.
What else did the spies see?
Not much of anything. Before they could get close enough, this huge storm started. And you were right. Sigismund has a hell of a lot of soldiers, including all manner of mercenaries. An army like that costs a fortune. Well, anyway, we'll find out when they get here, won't we?
Aye, we will.
God be with you.
Alright, it seems like they still are unaware if it is a friendly patrol or if it is the enemies. But going by the fact that we aren't attacking them, it does seem to be
Halt!
quite friendly.
Who goes there?
Lucifer and all his minions! Who else, Robert?
Sir Radzig.
Hey,
What
Sir
a relief.
Redsick.
Is his lordship there with you?
Yes, sir. He is right here.
What are you doing up so late, Divish? At your age, you need a good night's sleep.
Well, Radzig, you didn't exactly pick the best time for an outing either. In a big hurry?
It was a bit of a scramble, all right. Believe it or not, this tempest is a godsend for me and my men. As my old granddad used to say, better a sore throat than a slit throat.
I'd say your grandfather was a wise man. Your messenger told us what happened.
Messenger?
The lad you sent to warn us.
He's alive? He made it to you?
He's here with me. He only got away by the skin of his teeth, though.
Thank God.
A brave young man. But tell me, friend, how on earth did you manage to get away?
Thank God for this tempest. When it began, Sigismund's Tatars crawled into their holes and left the storming of the castle for more clement weather. We were able to sneak out right under their noses. The Lord be praised. We wouldn't have stood a chance against them.
Would you like to spend the night in Talmberg?
No, no. When Sigismund finds the castle empty tomorrow, he might come looking for us. We'd only be exposing you to danger. Without me and my men, he has no call to attack you.
What will you do then?
We'll march to Ratai. It's only a short way, and there we'll have a better chance of defense and enough room for all of these people. If Sigismund should come, better bend your knee, Divish. There's no point dying in a battle that's futile.
You're right there.
Is that boy still with you?
I'm here, sir.
You have courage, lad. That I can't deny. I am sorry about what happened. Would you care to join us?
I'd like to, sir, but first I have to return to Skalitz.
Are you mad? What do you want there?
I can't leave my mother and father. I won't leave their corpses rotting in the street. I'll join you once I've taken care of them.
Don't even think of going back there, you donkey. Are you tired of living?
But sir...
Quiet! I'm sorry about your father, but getting killed as well won't help him. Divish, make sure that lad doesn't budge from Talmberg until things quieten down.
Not to worry, friend. Anyway, he's injured and needs to recover. I'll lock him up here as if he were Havel of Baldic.
I've seen you've grown a thick skin since your tribulation, sir. But thank you. We'll meet again when circumstances are more favorable. Farewell.
Farewell, friend, and good fortune. Give my regards to Sir Hanush.
I will. And good luck to you and your people, too. These are dark times. Move out!
Anywhere, people! Move out! It's only a short way to
Still maintain the cutscenes in this game is extremely well done. Although there are quite a few right in the beginning here, so a lot of these episodes in the beginning is going to be full of cutscenes. But it should die down sooner or later. But let's take a
Men,
talking to
tonight we'll have triple
Robert.
patrols.
Or you shall talk
Sort
to
out
us,
the
rather.
watches between you as always. And if I catch anyone boozing, playing dice or slacking off, I'll personally break every bone in his body.
Well, that's
I want
nice
you
of
to
him.
keep a close eye on everything nearby. Sigismund will surely have sent spies, and likely men as well, to follow the Skalitz people now he knows they've fled. Keep your eyes peeled, and report everything to me at once. Understood?
Okay, let's have a chat here to Mr. Robot.
What is it you need?
I could use an extra pair of eyes, and yours are keen. Will you keep watch on the battlements with my men?
Is that a request or an order?
I'd rather it was a request you answered yes to.
Of course I'll help. I'll have to pay you back somehow after all you've done for me.
Splendid. And don't worry, I'll tell the men to relieve you later. Good luck to you.
Okay. So, we need to just stick around, it seems like, and keep a watch on the battlements, as the objective has stated there. So while we go around, we can take a look at the battlements area, I suppose, and see what sort of details we can find here, as we just use a little bit of our time up. Once again, the graphics on this game is also extremely well done. Especially being for a smaller developer, I think it is. But I think this is one of the guardhouses or something. But let's move out of there because that's a private area. And keep walking around this area here, checking for any abnormalities. But all seems quiet at the moment. Hopefully Sigismund's army doesn't end up this way anytime soon. But I'm not even seeing any other guards, so I don't even know why I'm the only one out here in the rain. So let's keep moving along. There's a guard over there. There's a locked door. Hello, Mr. Guard. Let's keep checking here. All seems to be quiet. There's another security guard. And another. Can I talk to him?
My respects to you.
What do you think about the Skalitz folk managing to slip away like that?
I can't imagine how they did it.
Wandering around like a stray sheep. Must be your first watch, eh?
Indeed it is,
I don't
my friend.
think anything much will be happening today. You can just lean against the wall and wait till morning. I'll show you what's what.
I will. Thank you.
Okay, so they gave us a little tip there on how to be a guard. So they have taught us how to also skip time. So I'll push T over here and wait until morning, it seems like. Although we didn't really get enough sleep earlier on, but I suppose we shall take what we can get. We are nearing 6 in the morning here. And another alarm has been sounded. But for what reason? Let's keep moving. Okay. We'll complete that objective. Go to the battlement on the Outer Bailey. Okay. So now they want us to go to the battlement on the Outer Bailey. Wherever that will be. Maybe just follow these guards over here. Okay, seems like we managed to go the right direction, and suddenly the sky's cleared up, oddly enough.
Sweet Jesus, we're gonna end up like Skalitz.
Holy Mary, Mother of God.
And there's the army again that has hounded us since Skalitz,
See how the self-appointed king
waiting outside the
wins the love
castle
and
walls.
respect of his loyal subjects.
Indeed, Robard. Sigismund of Luxembourg has a rare talent for winning people over to his cause. You may be in for a surprise, though. I don't think he will set his heathen dogs on us today.
Greetings, Lord of Talmberg.
That's him. That's the bastard who led the attack at Skalitz and killed my parents.
Don't be an idiot. Do you want to end up like them?
Especially having
I
Henry
am
go
Sir
half
Markwart
mad.
von Aulitz.
They could attack
I
this
come in the
building
name
as
of
well.
Sigismund
Or
of
castle.
Luxembourg, King of Hungary and Croatia, who has resolved to strike against those who disrupt concord in the land and to restore order in the name of his brother, King Wenceslaus IV.
Restore order by burning and pillaging the king's estates.
Greetings, Sir Markwart. The efforts of the king's brother to bring order to this chaotic land are undoubtedly noble. It seems to me, though, that he and his army have somewhat strayed. As Burgrave of Prague Castle, I am entirely beholden to the king, and here in Talmberg divine peace reigned until your arrival. To what then do we owe the honor of your visit?
Yesterday, His Majesty took action against the enemy of the kingdom, Sir Ratzik Kobila, who has been using the silver from the Skalitz mine to fund insurrection against the crown. Unfortunately, the insurgent escaped. Would you happen to know, noble sir,
Why does he look so
where
tiny
he
on the
might
horse?
be at this time?
Seems weird.
As far as I know, the Sir Radzik of which you speak is the king's hetman at Skalitz. I find it hard to imagine that he would rebel against our king. Nevertheless, I can assure you that Sir Radzik is not at Talmberg. He would be a fool indeed to flee from one castle, where he has little chance of defense, to another, where he has even less. Or do you take the view that my humble manner is any obstacle to your army?
Am I to inform the king then that Sir Ratzik Kobila is not at Talmberg and that he has your loyalty?
Sir Radzig Kobila is not here, and I have no intention of getting embroiled in affairs from which I have nothing to gain.
Very well, sir. As you wish. I will relay your words to the king in the hope he will be as well disposed as you seem to be.
Those who have clean consciences and goodwill may find themselves well disposed even at moments like this, when there is little cause for joy. Farewell, sir.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Quite a tense moment there, but we seem to have survived that encounter. As apparent by everybody cheering as well.
My lord, you have my utmost admiration.
Get on with you, Robard.
Right. So we have a couple of new objectives now as well. One of which is to try and bury our parents back in Skalitz. Let's speak to Sir Robert over here and see if we can get that done.
My respects to you.
Sir Robard, I need to get to Skalitz.
What would you do there, lad? Sigismund might have left, but the place will be swamped with robber barons, brigands, deserters, and other vermin. And anyway, your lord commanded you to stay here.
Okay, let's tell him what we are trying to bury our parents. But our speech skill isn't so grand, so we don't know what his is at the moment. But
My
let's
parents died there, and I won't leave them to be ravaged by dogs. I have to bury them.
Good God, boy.
Okay, we
Do
did
you want
fail
to throw
that
your
one
life away
and
for
lost
those who
reputation
never
in the
get theirs
process.
back? Do you think that's what they'd want? Forget it.
Okay, so you won't allow us to do that. We'll have to try and find another way out of here ourselves. Let's put away the torch. With our sword still on us, we are going to now try and find another way around this. Just do a little bit of save here as we formulate a plan on how to get out of here. Okay, we can optionally get a horse, get out of the castle somehow, and bury our loved ones in Skalitz. Now, all we have to do is try and make a plan on how we can get out of here. Let's try and speak to Sir Robert once more. I don't think he'll allow us out here. There's no option of speaking about it again. Maybe Sir Divish, which we aren't allowed to speak to by the looks of things. So we'll just move in. There's a combat arena. We'll just move back into the castle area. If I remember correctly, there was a few other ways of getting out of here. One of them was disguising ourselves as a guard. And the other one, which I'm not too keen on doing, is just to simply drop off here and escape. But let's try and set ourselves up to look like a guard, which I think we can speak to this man over here. Let's try and do that quickly.
Good health to you.
I need to get out of here.
And I need a feather bed with a comely wench in it. But it looks like we'll both be disappointed. Sir Divish gave orders not to open the gate, and you especially are not to be let out.
Okay, so again, we don't know what Radium's skills are, but let's keep trying to get our
My mother and
speech
father
up
were
here.
left in Skalitz like carrion. I have to bury them. I can't leave them to the dogs.
I'm sorry, my friend, but I can't.
Okay,
You'll have to
that was a
persuade Sir
success.
Robard, or think something up so I don't end up in the shit for it. Otherwise, forget it.
Okay, let's ask him what he has here
What
in
am I
mind.
supposed to think up?
How should I know? Maybe some disguise so I could say I didn't recognize you? If a Talmberg soldier turns up all kitted out properly, in armor and a helmet, then of course I let him go. That's obvious.
All right, I'll have a look around for something.
Okay,
Farewell.
so what we now need to try and do is find a guard outfit, which I'm sure we can get in the guardhouse here, in the castle. So that's exactly where we're going to head quickly. And if I remember correctly, it was up this way. And one of the optional things was to get a horse. I think I remember how to do that as well. But since we're going to be heading into a private area, we're just going to close this door, do a little bit of save in case anything goes wrong, and we will try and steal some of these things here. Shit. Okay. Let's rather drop the shield for now. Or pick this up a little bit later. Just leave him there. And I think we should go to the... Let's just close this in case anybody gets suspicious of anything that we're doing. There was a trader over this direction where we could try and purchase a lockpick, since we had sold all of our lockpicks earlier on. There he is. And let's have a chat to
My
him here
respects to
quickly.
you.
Can we trade?
If you've got the coin. God be with you.
Alright, he's selling some bandages, some... Oh, treasure map. 14 gold. Okay. I'm just going to try and get this here. Haggle with him a little bit.
Can we do something about the price?
Sure.
And... yeah, I don't want to pay more. I'd rather pay less if possible. So let's see if we can pay 13.5. Let's make that offer.
Are we agreed?
Well, a little more and we'll call it a deal.
Okay, so I'll just raise it up by 1 and we'll accept
I knew
that.
we'd come to an arrangement.
Okay, we gained some reputation with him. And we got ourselves a lockpick, of which we can now get into the guardhouse, which we are going to run there quickly. Make sure our coast is clear. Okay. We seem to be doing fine right now. Let's get ourselves into here and find out where this needs to be. What do we find here? Okay, we're unlocked there. Let's get the bassinet. In fact, all of this over here. As well as the Talmberg shield. Okay. And while we are here, let's just put on all these items that we found. Including the crested shield over there. A helmet. A decorated Waven rock, apparently. Hunter's gloves. Light padded armor. Mail coif. Mail collar, apparently. Padded coif that goes underneath your helmet. And a red scarf. No. There we go. Okay, so that is the outfit we are going with at the moment. Okay, put the red rock on rather than the red scarf. And we are looking fine right now. I think, if I remember correctly, I can speak to the lady here. Or one of these men. No, he's a stable master. I just need to find where the lady that spoke to us last evening was. I think Sir Divish's wife. is Sir Divish himself, but now where is his wife? I know if I'm not mistaken I can actually escape right now, albeit without a horse. There she is. Let's see if we can get a horse here. Lady Stephanie? Stop moving for a little bit. Okay, let's have a chat here with her. And see if we can somehow get a horse out of her.
I'm sorry. Do I know you?
It's me, my lady. Henry.
Heavens above, Henry. Why are you dressed like that?
I have to bury my parents, but the guards won't let me through the gate.
But you mustn't. You'll be killed.
Sigismund's army has moved out. I can't just sit here. I just have to go.
I still think you should stay here in the safety of the castle, Henry. But I see your heart is drawing you away from here. God go with you.
My lady, I hope you weren't unduly distressed by the arrival of Sigismund's army this morning.
Let's just skip through this conversation here a little bit.
I fear something.
Okay. I thought she does offer us a horse, but apparently not. And I don't exactly want to steal one. But if I have to, I shall. It would be better to try and go in with a horse. So we'll just save the game here once more. See if we can take one without being noticed. Olena. Not in. Or we could just mount this one. Then again, what I actually forgot is we came here on a horse, so one of these is actually ours, which I think we are actually on the correct horse. So let's trot on off to the guard here at the gate, and hopefully he'll let us through. Good day, lad. Okay, let's back up a little bit. Maybe we need to get off the horse. Okay, first of all I need to find out how to do that. Apparently it's a button X. Makes no sense, but okay.
I need to get out of here.
Then I'm afraid you're out of luck. Ah, I see. All right then. But if you breathe a word about me to anyone, may the Lord watch over you.
Okay, and apparently he could not recognize us right in the beginning. And let's mount this horse and trot off out of Talmberg. Okay. So as we trot off, I think we're going to end this episode here, and in the next episode we're going to make our way towards Skalitz and hopefully get to bury our parents and see how the rest of the story unfolds. But for the time being, I shall see everybody in the next episode.